When Ford launched the next-gen Territory at a much higher price bracket than the previous gen, I wondered if it could repeat its predecessor's success. Now, a year after its launch, I have the answer to that question. The next-gen Territory is still the best-selling crossover in its size category, beating the likes of the Corolla Cross and the RAV4 with a market share of almost 50%. Now Ford introduces the new variant, the new Ford Territory Sport. But it now launches among a sea of new challengers. Is it still worth buying in late 2024? Let's find out. The Ford Territory Sport is the newest variant of the Territory. It adds a couple of new features and a few cosmetic tweaks for a bit more money. It costs 26,000 pesos more than the Titanium X, which may be an inconsequential amount if you're paying over 1.6 million pesos for a car. In this video, we'll talk about the Territory as a platform, we'll talk about what the Sport offers on top of the Titanium X, and how the competition has kept up with the Territory. Now, even though the next-gen Ford Territory is a lot bigger than the previous gen, it's still technically a compact crossover. So it goes up against the Corolla Cross and the BYD Sea Lion 6 in terms of size. Now, even though it's called a compact crossover, it's still one of the biggest in its class. It's a lot bigger than the Corolla Cross, and even though it's a bit shorter than the Sea Lion 6, it is a lot wider and a lot taller. It also has more interior space, which we're going to show you later. The Sport, as the name may suggest, has a lot of blacked out accents. Here at the front, it gets this blacked out grille. Now on the Titanium, these fins have chrome accents. Here on the Sport, the chrome accents are finished in matte black. On the Titanium, this faux skid plate over here is finished in silver. Here it's finished in what looks like dark chrome. It still gets 18-inch wheels, although as you might have guessed, these wheels are finished in gloss black. The side mirrors are also finished in gloss black, as well as the roof with the A pillars, the B pillars, and the C pillars. They're all finished in gloss black. Also, this chrome accent down here is now finished in gloss black. Here at the back, as expected, we get more blacked out accents. Like the Territory logo over here is finished in gloss black, and this faux splitter over here is finished in matte black. The new Ford Territory Sport also now features a remote start function. So you can now start the engine without getting inside the car. Now to start the engine, just press the lock button 3 times and hold the button on the third press, like so. 1, 2, 3. And I'm not sure if you can hear that, but the engine is now running. So if you want to cool the cabin a bit before you enter, you can first start the engine before getting in the car. Under the hood of the Territory Sport is the same engine as the other variants. It's a 1.5-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine that puts out 148 horsepower and 248 Newton-meters of torque. The engine is coupled to a 7-speed dual-clutch transmission. Now, like the Territory Titanium, this gets a power liftgate. Cargo space in the Territory Sport is the same as the other variants. You get 448 liters with the seats up. If you fold the second row seats down, you get more than double the space, but you don't get a flat flooring. Regardless, you get more than enough space here to fit our sponsor for today. Introducing the Atto Sport Mobility Scooter, the world's most innovative mobility scooter. It folds into a small suitcase size, and it has wheels so you can move it around like a trolley. It separates into two parts. It has leather seats and grips, an illuminated LCD dashboard, enhanced lighting for extra visibility. You can install optional armrests. It's perfect for seniors as it's easy to lift and unfolds in seconds. It has a maximum speed of 10 kph, shock absorbing flat free tires, high ground clearance, advanced braking system. Be free to travel anywhere, land, sea or air. It has 20 kilometers of continuous driving range. Engineered with flair, designed with passion for performance. Be active, be free, be yourself. Atto Sport, moving life. Okay, so we're now inside the Ford Territory Sport. Now the most obvious difference here is the color scheme. The Territory Sport gets this black on white color scheme with gold accents. The gloss black accents and the wood accents have been replaced by these carbon fiber accents over here and also over here and also over here. The pillars and the roof are now finished in black. I like light colored accents on the interior. I think it gives the car a more premium look and it also adds a lot of contrast. But the problem with light colored leather is that it stains easily, so it's more difficult to maintain. What I like about the Territory Sport is that you still get the white leather, like over here, and over here. The seats also have these white leather accents, but the high traffic areas, like the center part of the seat, is now finished in a darker color, so it's less likely to stain. You also have very thick piping over here, which is finished in gold. Now in terms of materials, it's the same as the Titanium Plus. The top of the dashboard is soft touch. This is leather wrapped over here. This is leather wrapped. These are leather wrapped over here. This is soft touch. This is plastic. This is leather wrapped. This is leather wrapped. The seats are of course leather wrapped. The steering wheel is leather wrapped. It tilts, it telescopes, you don't get paddle shifters, and you get plenty of buttons here for your ADAS. Like the Titanium Plus, this gets full ADAS features like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, autonomous emergency braking, blind spot warning. This also gets seat ventilation. The driver's seat is power adjustable, the passenger seat is manually adjustable. You also get adjustable lumbar support for the driver's seat. Yeah, as for the rest, it's basically the same as the Titanium Plus. You get a wireless phone charger. So basically you have this 12-inch infotainment screen and this instrument cluster connected seamlessly to each other, so it looks like you have one very wide screen in front of you. This has wireless Apple CarPlay, wireless Android Auto. You also get a 360 camera, and the resolution is very good. You can rotate the view without lag. And the 3D model looks very good. It's the same color as the actual car, and the reflections look pretty convincing. Now, one of my complaints about the next gen Territory when it launched was that it didn't come with actual tactile physical buttons. What you got were these capacitive buttons over here, which are nice because they're separate from the screen, but they don't give you any tactile feedback. Now back then that was a complaint, but nowadays everything, almost every car has its aircon controls on the screen. So it's actually nice to have these separate capacitive buttons, even if they don't give you any tactile feedback. That's actually a plus now. You got this rotary shifter over here. You got an electronic parking brake without a hold. You get an actual physical volume knob. You have physical buttons here for your audio controls. Yeah, in terms of storage, the glove box is decently sized. It's dampened and it's nicely dampened. What I mean by that is that it doesn't open too slowly. It just opens slowly enough so it doesn't bounce when you open it. It feels very premium. You have plenty of storage underneath the center armrest. So you can see I can fit my medium-sized water jug here. There's something else here. And I can even close it. You also have this movable tray over here for additional storage. You have 2 cup holders over here. You have plenty of storage underneath the center console. You have your USB ports over there. You have 1 USB-A port, 1 USB-C port, and 1 12-volt outlet. You have eyewear storage up here. Yeah, so overall I think the Territory Sports interior looks younger, it looks more sporty, but still it looks just as premium as the Territory Titanium. One of the selling points of the new Territory is its interior space, and you get to really appreciate that here at the back seat. I have plenty of knee room here. I have isang langkal, not isang dipal like I said before, plus that's an additional 3.5 to 4 inches. The flooring is completely flat and low. I got good thigh support over here. The headroom is pretty good. I have about 3 inches of headroom, even with this panoramic sunroof. If I sit in the center, I have even more headroom. I got about almost 5 inches of headroom if I sit at the center because of the panoramic sunroof. It's also one of the widest crossovers in its class. 3 people of my size will definitely fit comfortably here. We also got plenty of toys. We got dual aircon vents, 1 USB port. We got a foldable armrest which is nicely padded and leather wrapped. It also has 2 cup holders over here. And like I said before, it gets a panoramic sunroof which extends all the way to the back of my head. Like the Titanium Plus, the Territory Sport also comes with an auto park function. So to initiate, just press this button over here and then select among these 3 options. Let's select park in, put in drive, and then the car will automatically look for a parking slot. Okay, so it found a slot right over here. I'm just gonna press it and press start. And now the vehicle will automatically park itself. And voila, it automatically goes into park. I never had to step on the brakes. I never had to shift from drive to reverse. Everything is done automatically by the car. The Ford Territory has Ford's full suite of advanced driver assist features like adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist, autonomous emergency braking. So right now we have adaptive cruise turned on, and as you can see, my right foot is not doing anything. It's automatically slowing down and speeding up depending on the speed of traffic ahead of us. Right now it should come to a complete stop, as you can see, and I'm not stepping on the brakes. And it should automatically resume again when the vehicle in front of us moves. So on long road trips and in stop and go traffic, it helps reduce driver fatigue by a lot. You get to rest your right foot, like I am right now. And it serves as an extra pair of eyes on the road. Take note though that you should always have your eyes on the road at all times, so you can intervene if necessary. Okay, so this also has lane keep assist, which automatically steers the vehicle to keep you within your lane. It's not as accurate though as other systems like the one on the MQ. It tends to bounce from line to line, and it doesn't work on roads like this where there are no markings. Now mechanically, the Sport is the same as the other variants, the same engine and the same suspension. So the driving dynamics should be very similar. The Ford Territory is a pretty good car to drive as long as you know what to expect. Expect it to be less of a sporty crossover and more of a comfortable family cruiser. Noise insulation is good, it's very quiet inside the cabin. Ride quality is also good, not the best but better than most. I feel like the rear suspension could use a bit more rebound damping, but overall it's a relatively comfortable crossover to drive. Now the first thing that will take some getting used to is the transmission. The Territory comes with a dual clutch transmission, which can feel a bit jerky in stop and go traffic if you're not used to it. I've driven a lot of cars with dual clutch transmission, so I'm used to it. It's a matter of modulating your throttle inputs for smoother starts. Also, I think this is one of the better dual clutch transmissions that I've tried. Now, fuel economy is not the Territory's strongest suit. You can probably get 14.5 kpl by hypermiling on the highway, but under normal driving conditions, expect 13.5 kpl on the highway or less. In the city, I could get 9 kpl under moderate traffic. Yeah, the fuel economy is not amazing, but for a crossover of its size, it's not so bad either. The Territory Sport sells for 26,000 pesos more than the Titanium X. For that price difference, you get remote engine start and the exterior and interior tweaks that I mentioned in this video. It's not a lot, but it's also just an additional 26k. And if you like how the Territory Sport looks, then it's easy to justify that small price difference. At 1.6 million pesos, none of the legacy Japanese and even Korean brands come close to the Territory's combination of interior quality, cabin space, and features. The competition really is in the new Chinese brands that are coming in. At this price bracket, these new brands are coming out with their big guns and are aiming to steal a bigger slice of the pie from the Ford Territory. The BYD Sea Lion 6 is a compelling choice if you value fuel economy. It's a plug-in hybrid with an EV range of 100 kilometers and a combined range of 1,100 kilometers. It also comes fully featured with ADAS and the latest tech. The Baik B30 is coming out, and that's going to be a very strong contender. Now, all these brands though are from China. Now, I know the Ford Territory is a joint collaboration between Ford and China's JMC, but it still carries the blue oval. And for those who are not yet ready to go for a Chinese brand, the Ford Territory is still one of your better options.